All right, move over dominoes. The tile-based game of Mahjong is taking over living room game nights across the country. And after falling in love with the game, two neighbors became business partners and opened up a store devoted specifically to this game. Paige is live in Dallas-based Bam Bird Boutique with a preview. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Texas. And let me just do this. 3, crack. Check it out, Mother. I'm playing Mahjong. This is a game that has been around for many, many, many years. It started in China and has now continued to grow and evolve. And it's appealing to a younger generation of Mahjong players. I'm excited to introduce you to Meredith Ajoli as well as Robin Offit to tell us more. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
I'm glad to have both of you here. I want to start with you to talk about, Robin, how the two of you came from completely different career backgrounds. You were in accounting, you were in event planning, and all of a sudden combined your resources and your knowledge to put together this business that really focuses on Mahjong. Tell me how all that began.
Yeah, so several years ago, Meredith and I both learned to play Mahjong from our moms separately. And Meredith then started a neighborhood Mahjong group. And we were playing, and Meredith had this idea that she wanted to create luxury Mahjong game pieces, accessories, and hosting items, but at a more accessible price. And I was like, okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. And really, I mean, the rest is history. And what I'm so impressed by with the two of you is how you have really been responsible for creating the actual designs of the Mahjong tiles. It's a whole new world for me. But for people who are familiar with this is pretty exciting. I want to showcase a couple of these different options. This is one of the latest ones that you've created. This has a tortoise shell background to it. And how you have been able to come up with these different types of tile ideas and how unique they are, it really makes the game even that much more special.
Yeah, when we started this, we really wanted to make sure that our designs were not only the colors that we liked and that they matched everybody's different personality, but also that they reflected the Chinese heritage. And so everything that we, especially on our classic line and our East meets West line, they all have some kind of meaning towards an ode to the Chinese culture. So it is a much more traditional look.
I think that that's so important because you are sustaining the essence of the game itself and you're providing the nod to its origins of the game to make sure that that has not been in any way depleted from these different creations. And you also have all of these accessories as well, which I think is so much fun. For people who love Mahjong, they love all the goodies that go with it. And really what you've done is that you've opened up the door to so many different options. And in essence, you've opened up the game to so many more people.
Yeah, when we were designing the accessories and the complementary items, we wanted them to all have a more classic look so that while they're suited for Mahjong game pieces, the tote is the perfect size for your table setup, but it's also just a beautiful leather bag that you can use in everyday life. So we wanted these items to be able to transfer easily back and forth between Mahjong and just what you do on a daily basis.
Well, as we move around here, I want to also show something. I'm going to play a game of what don't you see? And what don't you see is you don't see people on their phones. This is truly an interactive option. We're familiar with dominoes and with some card games, and Bunko is another a game that people can come and enjoy. But this really does require a lot of interaction. And I think that it's important that we're building more of these into our communities and that our heads are not constantly down looking at our phones.
Absolutely. And that's, I think everybody after COVID really realized that we like each other and we want to be and hang out with each other. And this is a great way to not only use your brain, but to hang out with your friends and put that phone down. And we play with our kids as well as our parents. We have convinced our husbands as well.
Wow.
I know, right? But they like to say we've created some kind of a girls' clubhouse up here, and that we like to call it our girls' golf. So
I think that's a wonderful way of putting it, and being able to have the social interaction. Now, for people who are not as familiar with Mahjong, such as myself, I've got to tell you, it's a little intimidating for me because it is a ton of different rules. Just for fun, I'm going to borrow this, if you will. These are some cards. Now, do not adjust your screen because I'm sure that these numbers can be quite blurry. So there is a lot of strategy that's associated with that. You've got to learn. So for people who may want to begin this process, get into the Mahjong game, what do you recommend for building that among your community of friends?
Yeah, if you have someone in your group that's familiar with the game or someone that you know, a friend that could teach you, then I think that's great. If you don't have someone, there are a lot of rules. You're right. It's overwhelming, and every time you think you've learned all the rules, then you do something and someone says, "No, you can't do that." So having someone that is an instructor, if you don't have someone in the group that can, hiring an instructor to help you and your friends learn the game so that you can build a group, it's probably the easiest way.
All right, so I want to talk about this space too. This is something that's been newly opened. July of 2024 is when you opened the doors. This is something that you're not only providing for people to come and purchase products and see the different types of sets that you've uniquely designed. This is also a place where you wanted to create for people to come and use and be able to play their Mahjong sets, also possibly have like a catered breakfast or a catered lunch, and really have used this as a great retreat for those who love Mahjong and want to get out of their homes into a different, pleasant setting.
Exactly. Sometimes it's nice to not have to host someone at your house, but you still want to get together and do something. And so this space has become not only an awesome space for Mahjong, but whether it's a baby shower or just an excuse to get your friends together, we wanted to create a safe, fun, pretty space where you can do that.
You certainly have achieved that. I'm so proud of you guys. And ladies, y'all look lovely today. Thank you for coming and enjoying playing Mahjong with us. This has been a lot of fun. And I've got some great news for our GMT viewers. You can get 10% off by going to their website, which is bambirdboutique.com. Put in the code GMT, and you can enjoy this and some of the different products at a discounted price. This has been a lot of fun. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
All right. Bam, crack, whatever. Mahjong. I'll send it back to you, Erin.